In this video, we are targeting yellow perch diamonds in Golden Ridge Reserve. If this video helps you catch your diamond, please remember to give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Here is my latest catch, green first fish at 2103, gold bluegill. Here's a diamond perch and another one. Note that from this diamond perch, I did take a break, 21:38 to 22:50. That's over an hour, 20 minutes. Here's another diamond perch and a fourth one. Last fish at 0001. That's 3 hours, 2 minutes with an hour, 20-minute break. So call it 2 hours for diamond perch. Let's take a quick look at the yellow perch. For the traits, it's a bottom lurker. It does like to swim closer to the bottom. So if it's deep, you may want to use a bottom fishing rig. However, in the video, I am going to be fishing with a float. It's also a sun lover, so we're going to be fishing during daylight hours. For the bait and lure preferences, lots of choices here. But what jumps out, I'm going to stick to bloodworm for the bait and corn and bread for the chum. The maximum perch is 2.42 pounds, and that's what I just showed you. So for the gear, I recommend the Greenhorn spinning rod combined with the Prolog spinning reel, 2.2 pound fluorocarbon, the Waggler bobber to move less in the current, the size 7 gold hook, and bloodworm for the bait. I have two identical setups, and I prefer to stick to gold, but if you want more action, you can have a third one with a silver size hook, 8, and bloodworm again, of course. And for bait feeding, I want you to stick to bread or corn on the hand. You will only need your hand. For the optimum diamond conditions, you want to start in a morning server. Now, this is a strange technique in that you're going to catch more of other fish than you are of yellow perch. So if your goal is to catch as many yellow perch as you can, I'm going to suggest this spot right over here where I have this diamond marker. And you can grab a Jeep out of the Cackling Needle trailhead, drive it along, and park it over by this shore. But what I'm going to use in this video is way over here on the right. And you can see where I am and where my Jeep is, right by these markers for bluegill and perch. This is the primary spot I'm going to use, and you can also consider directly across if you don't like the rock spot. So what you want to do here is go to Trout's Beard, grab a Jeep, drive it across the bridge and up and through here, and park it right here by these rocks. Now, this Jeep is critical both for fast traveling, but also you're going to want to be restocking your baits, because I'm going to suggest you stick to the corn and the bread. Right here is the bread. So make sure you have these filled up in your storage as well. And we're going to be using these rocks right here, specifically out on this point. To catch yellow perch diamonds, start in a morning server. You can fish from 6 a.m. until 4 p.m. and then reset to a new morning server. If you also want to catch bluegill, which you can with the strategy and location I'm showing, then what you want to do is fast travel at 10 a.m., jump back to the main base, restock all your chum, and that will set the environment to optimal for both perch and bluegill. For the gear, I recommend 2 float fishing rigs with the size 7 gold hook, and you're going to use bloodworm for your bait. And if that's not a fast enough bite rate for you, you can optionally have an in hand with a silver hook size 8, again with bloodworm. For bait feeding, I recommend you stick to bread and corn only and make sure you restock from the Jeep after your 10 a.m. fast travel. I am out on the rocks. I've got my Jeep nearby, and I am going to set up both my gold rigs. So all I do is grab the hand, do a half distance cast over this direction. I'll grab one of the gold hooks, make sure in the lower left it says put in rod holder. If I get too far into the water, it goes away. I'm going to hit Y to open the bail. That's because there is a snapback bug, and we don't want that to happen because it's kind of hard to notice sometimes. And I'm going to put my other one over here. It's a little too far forward, so I didn't have the option to put it in the rod holder. And I prefer to fish like this with the 2 gold hooks. But I do have the silver one. If you want to farm through the silvers in hand, nothing wrong with that. We'll give it a minute and see if we've got anything here. I'll go through a bait ball anyways. I really like to be patient and stick to the gold hook, but there's nothing wrong with using the silver end hook and farming. It works well too. In fact, arguably, it pulls fish out of the pool to spawn in new ones. I like this spot the best. This is a really strange strategy because you're going to catch more bluegill than you are yellow perch. However, you get a lot of diamond yellow perch. You just don't get the smaller ones. You're going to get more yellow perch diamonds by far than bluegill diamonds. And out of all the spots I've tried, I get the most yellow perch diamonds here. You can see some activity at that bait ball. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we got a gold. But let me go ahead and drop a silver over there, and we'll see what bites. If anything. You can typically tell the bluegill from the perch. Bluegill will nibble 3 or 4 times. Perch once or twice. Alright, let me grab this. And all you want to do is just keep replenishing that chum. Now you got about 30 seconds after that before it stops attracting. But for the purposes of keeping the video shorter, I'm going to go ahead and replenish. And I like to alternate left and right which one I throw first. So let's just see if we can get a bite here with silver. I'll put one out by the bait ball. You can jump back and forth as many times as you like until 10 a.m. At 10 a.m., you can see one streaking across. Clearly a bluegill. I think that's going to be a little silver. Here comes another one. They're going to fight over it. There's your multi-nibbles. At this point, even if I couldn't see him, I'd be pretty darn sure it was a bluegill. Interesting. And the gold hit the in hand. Wasn't expecting that. We'll go ahead and put it back out. I can see one swimming around, a couple of them, quite a few of them. Here comes probably the silver bluegill over to it. And of course it only nibbled once, very unusual for a bluegill. So I'll stop using the in hand, you get the idea. Now in this spot, you're going to catch more perch than anything from a diamond standpoint. You aren't likely to get a bluegill diamond before 10 o'clock. It's not impossible. It's just likely to be a perch. And we're getting a nibble on the gold hook. Yeah, that's two. Could be a perch. Let's see. Nope, this is going to be a bluegill. The perch will pop down more on the tension. There's a nice gold bluegill. So as I've said, very strange strategy because we're going to be farming bluegill to get to the Diamond Yellow Perch. But as you saw on my latest catch screens, I had a lot of gold bluegill around a bunch of Diamond Yellow Perch. Super strange strategy, but I promise it works. So, while we're waiting for that, make sure that you restock out of the back of the Jeep. If you run out and need to, you can use pearl barley as well. If you use hot dogs, you're going to get burbot. Don't use those. Pearl barley is okay, but I prefer to stick to the corn and bread. And we're only at 6:45, so use up all of your in hand, then restock from the Jeep, and then you can jump back to the main outpost. Make sure you restock both your regular inventory and your storage inventory because you're going to need that Jeep after 10 o'clock. And remember, when you come back, you won't be able to see the Jeep. You won't be able to fast travel directly like I can because I'm standing next to it. You need to fast travel either to either of these points, or you can go here first and then you can jump to the Jeep to get back here. So if you make your last jump around 10 o'clock, a little later is fine, 10:30. It's not going to hurt anything. Here we go, another bite on gold hook. Refill everything around 10. And then you'll be set. Oh, this could be a perch. I think it's a bluegill. Good size bluegill. Yep. I think 176 is the largest you can get and still be gold. Or at least it's the largest I've gotten. So as I was saying, make your last jump around 10 o'clock. And after that, only restock from the Jeep. And then when you run out of both in the Jeep, should be in mid-afternoon, it's time to restart in a new morning server. That's really all there is to it. Happy fishing. Have a good one. Please click on the logo bottom left to subscribe to my channel. Check out my other content and don't forget to hit the like button on the video.